Hey, what's up guys, girls, and everybody in between? It is Steven from MechaPuma, and welcome to the weirdest video on this channel so far. Area 51. There is going to be a raid at Area 51. Now, is it going to happen the way people say it's going to happen? Apparently, but most likely not. I think more people are talking about it than are actually going to go, which is pretty obvious. Yes, this man started a petition, if you didn't know, on Facebook, and it is set on September 20th, I believe. Now, I think a good 3 million people have signed up so far, which if you didn't know, that's a lot. And worrying for the government, because it's a secret base, so I can kind of see where the government's coming from, being like, oh, this is really not good, even if they're joking. Yes, people are suspicious as to what they're hiding there. A lot of people legitimately think they are hiding aliens. I'm not so sure. I don't think they are. It could be. I personally don't think they are, but technically it could happen. I mean, it could have extraterrestrial life, and it might be too violent, or too dangerous, or too knowledgeable to come in contact with so far. I mean, it might have some bad effects that they're trying to study or something. However, I feel like they should be more transparent about it, and that's what this event is apparently catering to now. Just a community in general who wants UFOs to be treated with transparency, and wants the government to be honest. You know, they want the government to be like, that was our test. I don't know why the government tries to hide it so much. I mean, I feel like, yeah, if you're trying to really do something awful, I guess you could hide it, but that's kind of where the suspicion is coming in the first place. A lot of people are seriously suspicious, and at this point, I can't really blame them all that much. I'm not a conspiracy theorist myself, but there is definitely something going on. Now, how sinister it is really depends on a lot of factors. Are they hurting anybody or anything? What kind of technology do they have in mind? What are their future plans for humanity? Animals, you know, and the planet, the universe in general, right? Life in general. What are their plans for? I feel like if they're legitimately doing us a service, then yeah, don't bother them. I mean, they probably have a good reason. But the thing is that they're not telling us and they don't know. And by they, I mean the United States government. The US government is not guarding the space, by the way. That is a myth. It is a private agency that's funded by the government. Isn't that surprising? The government's funding another private agency. I love you too, Donald. Where'd Putin go? I mean, nothing. What? Libtards, am I right? But in all honesty, I am curious, and I do think it is going to be something rather disturbing. I've seen a lot of shit in my lifetime, okay? And I don't tell people about this a lot because it's not something I'm necessarily proud of. It's not something I did wrong, and it's not something that I'm guilty of, but it's things I've seen that are so disturbing. Obviously a lot of wars, which people have seen on their TV and stuff. That isn't necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm talking more about animal testing. I think they're hiding some sort of animal testing in that. Maybe not. I could be completely wrong, okay? But I think that's why they're not showing it to the public, is because people would be so upset about it. And I don't blame them, because I am upset about it on a daily basis. You have operations like this, and this, and this, and they're probably tame compared to what could be happening in that area. Now, my theory is, if it gets too public, which it already has, by the way, so don't expect much in there, they're probably going to move their secretive projects elsewhere and come up with some kind of ploy, some kind of disguise. And it might not even be a bad one, alright? It might still give away something. But the government still has plans to protect what they do. That's just the US government. Most things, yeah, I agree with them. It should be in private, because if you publicly announce some stuff, you could get some crazy-ass motherfuckers assassinating people or something. That's not really what you want, is it? We're better off just letting democracy deal with it. So, right off the bat, I'm going to admit that I most likely have some sort of bias because of the sinister stuff I have personally, I guess, bear witness to on the screen. I haven't actually been there in real life, thank God, because I'd be mentally scarred for the rest of my life. Kinda am, but not nearly as bad. I'm pretty aware of brands and all that stuff and what corporations do for money. A lot of it is the mind of a demented kid, which was me when I was young, wouldn't even think to do. It's embarrassing to say this, but when I was a kid, I didn't really get that other beings, including people, felt pain. I would beat people up for fun. I was a pretty bad kid, so lessons learned. I feel like they are hiding something sinister. I don't know how sinister it is, alright? It could be something a little bit disturbing, but, you know, not awful, but something tells me that something's going on there that's not favorable in the public view, if you know what I'm saying. I think something serious has a high possibility of happening there. I mean, obviously, there was that 2011 case where one of the camo dudes, as people like to call them, had an unknown type of cancer, and they did not disclose which type of cancer he had, or... I keep saying they, I don't want to sound vague or anything. The people who worked there did not tell him what it was, and he unfortunately ended up perishing. I'm personally all for the raid. Believe it or not. I know there are a lot of parents, a lot of kids even, saying, this is not going to go anywhere. This is dumb. What are you doing? doing? But my question is, what are you doing not questioning anything? We didn't get here by sitting on our asses, alright? History tends to repeat itself if you don't question everything you're given. I'm not saying don't be grateful. Being grateful is definitely part of life that will make you happier, make people around you happier, make the animals around you happier, like Wookie. Wookie's pretty happy, but she's a bitch sometimes. I mean, she's great. Essentially what I'm saying is you gotta question this sometimes. Maybe they're not telling the truth, and by they I mean the corporations and the government. A lot of times they aren't, surprisingly. Yeah, you can legally stretch the truth. That's not a surprise to anybody, fortunately. Will the raid happen? I would assume so. I don't think 3 million people are going to come, though, or 2 million, however many have actually signed up for this. But I do feel like a good maybe 10 to 20,000 people will show up, and the businesses will love it, so they'll want them to come back, and this might be an annual thing. But I do want to go, really badly. Not because I believe in the conspiracy theories, but because of curiosity. Like I said earlier, we got here with critical thinking. We didn't get here with just accepting everything. If we would have done that, slavery would still be legal. If we would have done that, the government probably would be bombing us right now. But my thing is, for all the people who mistrust the government, do not trust corporations either. I'm not trying to tell you this as brainwashing propaganda. They're way worse. Alright, at least the government gets exposed. Corporations don't get exposed. And also the government doesn't have our interests in mind anymore. There's no assassins this time. So yes, in real conclusion this time, go if you want to. I would encourage anybody and everybody to find out as much information about the world as possible. Not only this, the world. This is genuinely just going to teach us something. And what I think they're hiding in there is just information they don't want us to see. It's pretty obvious. Nobody knows what information it is. I would predict it's very sinister, though. At least a small amount of it. I'm not saying the whole thing is. Probably the whole thing is fine. Just parts of it are very inhumane and sinister. That's just from my experience. Hopefully you guys, girls, and everybody in between have enjoyed this video. And feel free to comment down below what you think actually is happening, because I am very curious, genuinely, to hear what people think. It's pretty interesting, actually. Adios! Hasta la pasta! Please don't kill me, U.S. government. Donald Trump, I mean, I love Donald Trump. He's great, the greatest. Bing bang! Oh, my voice. If you'd like to subscribe, then press that subscribe button right in the middle of the screen. Trust me, it'll be worth it. You know you want to. And to reveal all of Area 51's hidden secrets, press the bell icon too. There'll be more of these in the future. You'll get an alien, and aliens included. And if you don't press that subscribe button, then I'm gonna hit you with a sign. Take that. Oh, you want a piece of this? Alright.